have learned the definition of unconditional love.
And to me, that's what it's about.
Mentoring you and not redefining our relationship.
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
If you could film me.
Sam, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. Cause she don't just.
Stage with the multi-platinum icy girl, Saweetie.
Hey, y'all.
Still failed to sell much of anything or generate sales to get on the top 200 albums of the week. Not the month, not the year, no, just the best-selling albums of that week.
Like, there are no movie stars anymore. Like, Anthony Mackie isn't a movie star. The Falcon is a movie star.
These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Oh, wow! Greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
I just don't get why they kept clapping. That was weird.
But there's not. It's a biological trick that it's perpetrated through, and this is not by a grand conspiracy, but through media, through being able to put them on a YouTube screen or on a television or a laptop.
Okay guys, so today's episode we'll be talking about the celebrity of cults.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
The cult of celebrity is what I really meant. The cult of celebrity. And is the mystique, is celebrity dying? But before we get into that, I'm going to need you to do me one favor, and that's please like, comment, share, and subscribe. The next goal for this channel is to get to 1,000 subscribers. It makes me a partner with YouTube, and in order to do that, I'm going to need your help. So if you're new to this channel, subscribe. If you come to the channel regularly, you watch most of my episodes, do me a favor. If you want anything or there's anything you want me to talk about, put into the comments. It increases my engagement. It helps me out a lot. But without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Like, there are no movie stars anymore. Like, Anthony Mackie isn't a movie star. The Falcon is a movie star. So the evolution of the superhero has meant the death of the movie star.
But the point is, the whole cult of celebrity that used to be such a big, powerful part of our culture really feels like it's dying on its arse these days. And to be honest, it was kind of inevitable that this was going to happen sooner or later. The world we live in is changing, and so is the way we see the rich and famous. But
the celebrity star is dying, imploding on itself. And what is creating that implosion? Some of it is to do with social media. Some of it's to do with the access that we now demand of our celebrities. You see, once upon a time, we once wanted from our celebrities mystique, living off the drips, the drops that they dropped onto us, wanting more but left with very little. But due to all access TV like MTV, behind the scenes clips and videos that we were given, the demand for wanting more with celebrities was always there. But social media and its creation, its advent, sent it through the roof. We now demand way, way more from a press run of a celebrity's project or movie or whatever they are promoting. We demand so much more. We demand Instagram lives, an Instagram video, the whole YouTube, whether it's going on the spicy chicken thing.
what
the hot wing test. You can go on a chicken shop day. There's so much we demand of celebrities when they do their press runs, so much more of their personality that we ask of, which is done what? It's created a saturation. It's created a point in which with these celebrities, we kind of get a bit of fatigue with them. To stand out from the pack demands even more.
The thing for me is, okay, where are the individual styles? Where are the people that, their music's different? Yes. A little bit different, and look different, but it's all the same.
This online presence has manifested its way into the music industry in a massive way. Music labels now ask for the artists that they're taking on to have virality, to have such a massive online presence, which has affected the artist's development. No other place did this becomes more evident than with
Saweetie.
Or Saweetie. Or Saweetie. Sweet.
Reading, and this is my McDonald's order. Reason why women is running, rap.
Saweetie found herself in good company in August of 2021 when she was shockingly given her own McDonald's meal advertisement. Multiple hit songs with major artists like Doja Cat and super producers like Dr. Luke working with her, constant radio play, major playlisting, always played in clubs by DJs. She's dated one of the biggest rappers in the game when he was at the top of the game. She has over 13 million followers on Instagram, has an appearance that's appealing to millions, been in the game for about 4 years now, and she still can't sell over 2,000 copies. That is what makes this such a big deal and hilarious. An artist that was given not only every opportunity, every asset, help, push, every bit of assistance everywhere, still failed to sell much of anything or generate sales to get on the top 200 albums of the week. Not the month, not the year, no, just the best-selling albums of that week.
You see, Saweetie had all the tropes of a viral artist, the next big thing. She's a pretty woman, objectively. She has a big online presence. She was dating a famous celebrity. She had massive engagement online. She already had 3 big hits. So what was the problem?
Hey, you gonna have to come harder, bro. I ain't really feeling that, bro.
She just wasn't that great. She hadn't been developed as an artist, and it showed and exposed that the music labels don't know how to create a star. Name me a big act in the last 5-6 years from a music label. I know you can bring up Ice Spice, but whether she has staying power, we're yet to know. And as you can tell from these clips that I've posted here and put here about whether that be about Dua Lipa or the next big thing in music, you can see it's evident for anyone who's been in the business for a while that they are struggling to create stars. They are struggling to make big stars. That's why Taylor Swift, who has been around for over 15 years, is still one of the biggest, maybe the biggest act in the game. Drake is the same. The Weeknd is the same. The only person who seemed to crack that elite circle is Dua Lipa. That's the only one. And it's not just in the music business.
Hollywood is still full of A-listers, but the true movie star is dying out. The history of the movies is a history of movie stars. From the heyday of Charlie Chaplin and Marilyn Monroe to George Clooney and Julia Roberts' reign of the 90s, these were the reasons why people came to the movies. They were box office draws in and of themselves.
I'm the king of the world!
But now, it's not actors that draw people to the cinema, it's properties. The big tentpole releases that get the buzz tend to be ongoing franchises or reboots where the performers feel subservient to the overall product.
There are no movie stars anymore. Like Anthony Mackie isn't a movie star. The Falcon is a movie star.
Name me a Hollywood movie star from the last 10 years. Nick, Chris Hemsworth?
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
That's Thor. Give me a break. No one went to watch Men in Black. Tom Holland? Meh.
Here I come. Oh, here.
Yet to be determined. Can he pull in an audience outside of Spider-Man? We'll see. Timothy Chalamet. Jury's out. Jury's out. Michael B. Jordan may be the only exception in the last 10 years of a movie star who's been created. And this is because not only can Hollywood not make a Hollywood star anymore, they also don't want to. The franchise model that has taken over Hollywood and taken over movies, with everything being a cinematic universe, and the jokes about, oh, this ain't cinema, from Martin Scorsese banning about the internet, has made a very real effect. See, Henry Cavill has been replaced as Superman, and despite fans revolting against it, the studio knows that people are going to go and watch the next Superman film, even though it's a new Superman, and it hasn't even been 10 years since the first one. Well, it'll be about just 10 years. And it hasn't even been 5 years since the last Superman movie. They are aware that you are going to see the brand of the name, not the actors anymore. Very rarely do people say, oh, I'm going to go watch the next Henry Cavill film. No one says that. No one says that. Give me a break. Don't lie. Very few times, but once upon a time, you would say, I'm going to go watch the new Denzel film. I'm going to go watch the new Will Smith film. They were the name. The title was just almost product placement for them. Almost. And you can see this with Hollywood imploding on itself, with Hollywood and the music labels losing business, the inability to create stars, the inability to create good movies in Hollywood that are outside of independent projects. And it's good that there's great independent projects, but it is the top of the ceiling that keeps this thing afloat.
Pros, an LGBTQ plus rom-com, completely flopped after the star of the film called potential movie ticket buyers homophobes. Shocking turn of events. In another shocking turn of events, just recently the film She Said, which is a docudrama based on the investigation behind the Harvey Weinstein scandal, completely failed. Honorable mentions Star Trek and Doctor Who, two franchises that are well into the apathy phase, trying to turn things around too little, too late. And one of the more surprising things of the year, no, not the Rings of Power being a complete disaster, the successful fan backlash that absolutely, positively defeated a $1 trillion company. And the most recent thing, Disney firing their CEO in the middle of the night on a Sunday.
And the Hollywood movie making system will need to change, and a part of that is to do with the lack of stars, the lack of pulling power that they have, and it is exacerbated due to Hollywood's cannibalism and corporate model of movies, and us seeing through the mirage of cinematic universes and franchises is just the further corporatizations of art and film. And with music, it is very much the same. You are just picking out viral acts and hoping it sticks. Not to say Ice Spice is gonna be bad, not to say that Gorilla's gonna be bad, but you see it so obvious, so often that these viral acts, once you put them in a position to make a project, they don't stick.
Say again?
They don't stick. They don't stick. Too many songs half the time, oversaturation, creating poor performances, and due to the streaming networks, I don't need to be in the year 2024 anymore. I can stay in the year 99. I can travel around. Streaming has drastically changed the way we look at music, drastically changed the artists that we follow, and drastically changed the business around celebrities. We rather just follow them online, creating an Instagram famous, but not an actual fame that translates into business, more evident with
Saweetie.
And I think it also exposed how a lot of people in general are just over celebrity obsession. They're over the culture of celebrities, and they're trying to usher in change.
You see, not only the business around Hollywood stars are imploding, the mystique around them has imploded. We now see through their cheap virtual signaling. We see through the gimmicks that they play. We see through the acts that they do. With the latest beef with Drake and Kendrick being an example of us starting to see through the mirage of these celebrities.
Drake appeals to our vices. His music validates the parts of us that we should seek to be better than, justifying our egos, satisfying our lust, acting wrathful to the people around us. That's a lot of Drake's music. The issue is that isn't who he is. He was raised by a loving mother in a safe home with a humble yet decent upbringing. Making drill songs where he talks about popping his op's head off and paying for drive-by shootings, knowing that he went to Jewish day school and grew up saying he doesn't use slang, never working a day in his life beyond the entertainment industry, knowing he never went hungry or was exposed to violence or drugs, Drake isn't real hip-hop. His songs might feel like hip-hop, they might sound like hip-hop, but it's the same way a book written by ChatGPT has all the ingredients of a book. Drake is an extremely good fake, the same way that AI voices are really good fakes. It just falls apart once you look at what he's made in totality and realize that none of it really speaks to anything true.
You see, entertainers have now become more and more clear to be the pawns in a greater chess game, to be nothing but marketing props for these bigger corporations, these bigger government ideas and agendas, and these bigger, more powerful families.
To the Vatican, which is in bloodline to Peter, not Paul. Then it goes to the financial groups, BlackRock, Vanguard, and then to the governments, where we can go into Putin territory. And then it goes to Hollywood, the Rahm Emanuel. That is the first smokescreen to get past. And we're just breaking down those smoke screens. Hey, Ari, how you doing, Ari?
It's not just about exposing the structures of how the world works, and no one truly knows. It's not from my level anyway. It's exposing that the people who disseminate the message, the people that are in front of us, the fourth estate, don't have clear control about what they can say. The celebrities that are in front of your camera are watered down, controlled, and told what to say and when to say it, if to say it in the first place. When Viola Davis is promoting Woman King, which is a great film, and saying, if you don't go and watch Woman King.
There's The Woman King, a historical drama and a female empowerment story about slavers somehow managing to have a good opening on the worst box office weekend in 25 years.
If you don't come see it, then you're sending a message that black women cannot lead the box office globally, that you are supporting that narrative.
You're some sort of anti-feminist, anti-black crusader. It rings so hollow. Why can't the film speak for itself? Why is it selling it like that? And I loved Woman King. I'm a fan of Viola Davis, but the virtual signaling that goes on really starts to hammer home and remove the air of mystique that these celebrities had. It was the same with Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. I was gonna say America, and Captain Marvel.
Everybody's saying, would Brie Larson work out? Like, hypothetically, would I at some point? Is that like a personal attack or something? Or is that a request? Do you think I should? Yeah, I work out a lot.
People just don't buy these celebrities anymore. They just seem like token faces that can be interchangeable. And when you see these award shows, whether it's the Grammys, whether it's the Oscars, and you see them give these speeches, you hear these speeches.
Say this, Making The Revenant was about man's relationship to the natural world, a world that we collectively felt in 2015 as the hottest year in recorded history. Our production needed to move to the southern tip of this planet just to be able to find snow. Climate change is real. It is happening right now.
Sometimes they can be a bit inspirational. They can touch you and give you hope to overcome adversity yourself. However, sometimes it comes across as tone deaf, cheap, and a little bit condescending. That's why moments of truth hit so hard in those moments. When Ricky Gervais said those comments, basically telling you to get the hell off stage. Can't swear anymore. It hits home. It feels true. Accept your award and get off the stage. It feels so self-aggrandizing that you're on stage giving us a moral crusade about poverty and homelessness in a £1 million suit receiving an award. Who are you to give me a lecture about homelessness? I'm closer to homelessness than you. And I get people using their platform as a way to expose and give out knowledge for something is a great thing. But do you actually care? Nothing in your action shows that. It just feels like a way to get cheap claps. And you see the stars of the entertainment industry being older and older. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why El Nasser's t-shirts of Cristiano Ronaldo are selling out like crazy. There's a reason why the highest selling jersey in the NBA is LeBron, Steph Curry. Two basketball players who have been around for years. There's a reason why it's very similar in the NFL. There's a reason why the artists that you follow on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you watch your music are ones who have been around for nigh on 2 decades now. Inability to create stars, and we're seeing through their bullshit virtue signaling. We see through their cheap gimmick more and more, and that's due to the access that we have.
I know you guys are excited to see her. I didn't know you guys would be excited to see me too, but thank you. Now, I grew up in the inner city, and I know the whole notion of getting out and voting. And I was one of those kids, and I was around a community that was like, our vote doesn't matter, but it really does.
When you see LeBron James endorsing Hillary Clinton in the manner in which he did, but he never, at the time when he needed it anyway, endorsed Colin Kaepernick for taking the kneel against systematic racism, rings hollow. When you see Kim Kardashian supporting other charitable organizations, but when Balenciaga were caught promoting not only child pornography but child sex, Balenciaga fashion designers like Demna, who's I think the main designer, promoting child sex as well. The lack of condemnation from her was alarming.
I'm just not in the mood today, so I don't know.
So when they do virtue signaling now, we don't hear it. And more we're catching people out in their contradictions. You know, there was the times that people got onto Steph London for her tweets about dark-skinned women. Dare I say, Maya Jama herself has made tweets about dark-skinned women. More and more, we are finding out these celebrities are not paragons of virtue. Not saying they're bad people, not saying they can't make mistakes, but they're not the paragons of virtue that we have touted them out to be, or that they push at times to be. I think it became no more apparent during COVID. During COVID, you had different celebrities pushing this mandate, telling us to do this, talking about trusting the expert as if they're an expert themselves.
Turning our attention, Rachel, to young Hollywood and the vaccine.
Oh.
All right, look at this sexy shot. Sophie and Joe.
They look great.
Yeah, they're vaxxed up. We have, and finally, the very talented Britney Spears and Sam Asghari, her boyfriend.
It was nothing. I felt nothing. I'm fine, and I hope I continue to stay fine. I'm fine.
Fine, and hoping she continues to stay fine. Does it help when celebrities like Mariah Carey, Dolly Parton, sing for vaccines?
The public trusts celebrities when they are actually active and excited about getting vaccinated. There is no question that that has an impact on the general public's ability to understand that, look, if they're doing it, maybe we should do it.
It became so much apparent then how much celebrities push the motto that they're told to push. And we did, I think, as a collective, gained a little bit more confidence in our own discernment of what they're saying. And I read this article from Samantha K. Brooks, as you can see on the screen, where she discusses and concludes in her research that most of celebrity worship is connected to lower self-esteem, although not fully ascertaining it has a direct link. Also ascertaining that a lot of consumers who will engage in celebrity worship will typically fall more in line with cosmetic surgery, beauty standards, and generally following what they are told without questioning. And that's becoming less and less common. The need and the want for genuineness and questioning and discernment and information being dissected is being asked of people more and more. More and more people are demanding, if you don't stand for Israel, can we trust you as a virtuous person? I do worry about that. If you don't stand for my cause, are you for me? Kind of rhetoric. But when it's so overt, when you're so closely related to certain companies like Balenciaga and Kim Kardashian, a lack of understanding of how this negatively impacts her, you can call it into question. Maybe we just got to stop putting this high bar of demand on these celebrities as well. However, that ain't what really killed the mystique and the image of celebrities. There was one thing that really destroyed our perception of it.
I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
You know Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. Nah, because she don't just...
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch Esther at the red table because she's helped us a lot, can't you tell?
Celebrity relationships, can we trust them? Are they PR relationships? Are they a mirage? Are they a publicity stunt? I couldn't even tell you at this point. There are so many different terms to describe how celebrity relationships are fake. No, the poster child for it seems to be Will and Jada. Sadly, they are at front and center of criticism and scrutiny of what is a true relationship. Can we define it? Should we be more open to open relationships and the idea of them? Yeah, not me personally. But this idea of public relationships, this idea of publicity stunts isn't super new to Hollywood. It's just become more overt. Kim Kardashian herself, Chris Humphries allegedly being a publicity stunt, Pete Davidson allegedly being a publicity stunt, most of Lori Harvey's relationships being a potential publicity stunt, a way of keeping you engaged with them, a way of keeping that mystique alive, a way of strengthening that parasocial relationships that we have with celebrities, with people that we've been following for years, wanting to want more from them, and have them having a relationship, them being engaged in love and asking them questions about love and their partner and pairing them up with our two favorite celebrities increases that mystique, increases that demand for on us to want more, keeping their pockets filled.
What does it mean to love in freedom?
The simple idea is it's friendship versus marital prison.
Ooh. Does that mean you all can have other partners, but you just have to be respectful with each other?
So people only think in terms of sex. People are trying to put something on it. Will and Jada, what they doing with other people?
Yeah.
Right? Will and Jada ain't really doing too much of nothing. The goal is not a sexual goal. We're gonna love each other
no matter what.
And perhaps the paradigm and the idealistic ideal love and family and relationship was a weight that would crumble anyone. Maybe they should have never engaged in pushing it. Maybe this idea of pushing ideal family, ideal love was bound to fail and was always going to lead to people engaging in hedonistic, crazy things. These celebrities themselves, and when you look at this article that's on screen, discusses that upper class people, especially upper class white people, are more likely to engage in open relationships. Also in that article, it discusses people from the bisexual community are more likely to engage in open and pansexual relationships than others. Perhaps when you're a celebrity and you live above the norms of society, you can fail in the ideas of monogamous relationships. Perhaps monogamy means nothing to you. A wise man once said love is cursed by monogamy. However, while empathizing with the idea, it doesn't change the fact that they themselves go out of their way to promote this. And it is so important to their brand. Speaking of brand, let's talk about Brangelina. The crumbling fabric of that relationship between Brad and Angelina, and at one point a trial relationship with Jennifer Aniston, allegedly, apparently denied by Angelina Jolie. She was soliciting him while he was still with her. If you now look at the reports and see what's going on, it seems to be nothing but a mirage, and they were another couple allegedly in an open relationship. And it just seems with the Brangelina and Angelina Jolie fallout that the idea of celebrity relationships just becomes more apparent that it has a dark side. It's either fake, a publicity stunt, or hell on earth.
Broke the camel's back was during Jada's 40th birthday celebration. Will had started prepping for Jada's 40th 3 years earlier. He invited hundreds of guests, friends, family, other celebrities to a weekend-long celebration in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Mary J. Blige performed, and the guests were in awe of this beautiful celebration Will curated. But the 3-year-long surprise was a documentary Will made tracing Jada's family lineage back to slavery. Will resurfaced unseen pictures, found family members, and found a recording of her late beloved grandmother that she and her family had never heard before. These were very deep and personal messages from her grandmother that he broadcasted to hundreds of people at the party. The entire place is in tears. Her family, my family, everybody, all except Jada. She sat motionless, refusing to make eye contact with me. The video ends. Family and friends erupt in a standing ovation. That night, Jada demanded that they cancel the rest of the weekend. Will said no, and she finally erupted.
I'll cancel tomorrow. She was like, it's my birthday! Yeah. Right? And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego. Woo. Crushed, right? And to this day, I know I was crushed because it was true. Yeah. It wasn't a party for her. Yeah. And when she called me on that, that's when I snapped. And
Years later, Will admits he wasn't doing this gesture for Jada, but at the time he couldn't understand what he may have done wrong. When they returned to Los Angeles, they separated, and he said to Jada, "I retire from trying to make you happy. You are free. You need to go make yourself happy and prove to me that it's even possible. But I quit. You go do you, and I'ma go do me."
This mysterious Jada party between Jada and Will lives in infamy now. Was she being unfair to Will? Was it all about Will's ego? Was it all about Will looking like a good guy? Was she being ungrateful? Put in the comments. I would love to hear what you got to say. Honestly, debate away. I'll do my best to respond. But it's a peek behind the curtain of celebrity. It's a peek behind the ego of celebrity. I mean, what normal person wants that level of attention anyway? Is that kind of person more likely to do ego-driven gifts? I mean, me and my friends have spoke about it for years, that sometimes we feel our gifts from partners, ex-partners, were more about them looking like good partners than them just pleasing us. It's not devoid from reality. And is that what's bound to happen when you are with someone who has chased down fame and attention like a hungry dog chasing meat?
That I had to have a wedding.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
I
went crying down the freaking aisle.
Oh, getting married. Married.
Cried the whole way.
And I was
down
like,
the aisle.
I was like,
and Will was like, hey.
Like, she'll be all right, don't worry.
Will and Jada have faced scrutiny probably like no other couple ever has in Hollywood. Not in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime. And for some reason, at times I feel bad. And that's because they've been so open, so honest, so vulnerable to share with us their vulnerabilities, their difficulties, their complexities of open relationships on her podcast / YouTube channel, Red Table Talk. But then I stopped. And And I was like...
Very apparent about these two is they use this relationship to prophesize themselves. Them opening up about their marriage is somehow seen as more brave and more complicated than any of us since they are rich and famous, which to some degree is true, since millions and millions of people indulge in their marriage. But all this does is 1. Make them more money, and 2. Fill their egos to the brim thinking that they have some divine purpose to open up on behalf of all of the broken relationships and marriages in the world. Ironically, I think most of the people who made it all the way to this point in the video agree that they do not, under any circumstance, want the type of relationship that Jada and Will have.
These super open talks, these super vulnerable, extremely well thought out, careful with their words, conversations. When you first hear it, it's beautiful, and I'm like, you know, if I can ever believe in love again, maybe this is the kind of conversation I want.
The things that Jada needs to be happy, I'm not going to agree with them on, right? I truly have learned the definition of unconditional love.
And to me, that's what it's about.
People very rarely talk about the courage it takes to be happy, how much bravery it takes to be happy. And really, that's what I needed to gain, was the courage and the bravery to do what Jada needed to do to be happy.
And then it's like, actually feels quite fake. It feels scripted. It feels too well said. It feels like you haven't gone anywhere. The status of their relationship of today and the last time I checked, which was yesterday, is life partner, not wife. She refuses to be called Will's wife. However, contradicts herself and says when Will slapped Chris Rock.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
That's when she felt like she was back with Will. That's when she could call herself his wife. Are these publicity stunts? Was the slap a publicity stunt? You start to realize their conversation goes nowhere. And it almost, after a while, when you see it like that, feels like preaching. Feels like they've redefined the paradigm of relationships. I had bogey in my nose. Why didn't anyone tell me? Because I'm talking to a camera. Like I said, this redefining of relationships, redefining of marriage, feels like they're speaking down to us. Feels like they're condescending us. And what does it do? It gets our attention, it gives them clicks, it gives them revenue, it gives them advertising deals, it gives them attention. It allowed Jay to expand her podcast, it allowed her to grow in herself, which is something that she wanted, but their relationship seems as vague and as murky as ever. Is it an open relationship? Probably, but they never define it. They talk about cheating, but never say if they allow it or stop it or what the parameters and rules are around their open relationship. Their open relationship isn't very open to us, and some people here may say they don't need to do that. Well, when you spend half your time on the farming internet, because I can't swear anymore, don't you owe us a little bit of an explanation of some of the parameters, since you've been preaching us about the paradigm of relationships? Don't you owe us something? Don't you owe us something? At least some forward direction, right? It just takes me back to something Will said, and it's like,
we out here on vacation in the Bahamas, another beautiful day. Check it out, check it out. Boom. I want to talk to y'all for a minute about the power of perception. You see, there's a lot that goes in to being a hot social media content provider. For instance, y'all think I got time to go on vacation? No. I got social to do. Come on, man, this is blue screen. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I haven't looked like this good in years. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. You know what? This ain't even real blue screen. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
Maybe nothing's real. Maybe everything we see in Hollywood is just a carefully constructed image just to buy and gain our attention, trying to turn us into more and more passive consumers. Maybe the oversaturation of movies, the oversaturation of music, the oversaturation of sports games is because the powers that be, the business owners, see us watching, see us viewing, and says just give them more. They don't care. We're so addicted to our phones, they have no choice but to watch. And all they're trying to do is capitalize off that. I don't know, I don't really have the answers, you know. And I'll tell you the exact moment for me, when I realized that this Hollywood celebrity that we see is mostly a mirage, if not all of it, was when Will slapped Chris Rock. Well, whether you believe it's real or fake is beside the point.
Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
The audience kept clapping as if they were programmed to, as if they had nothing else, no other option to. I didn't see anyone run up to Will and tell him to relax or anything like that. There was no realness in this moment, hence why people think it was fake. And all that's happened is they've gone on a beeping plus run since then. And we're still making movies. Chris Rock has done a great comedy show on Netflix. If it wasn't a publicity stunt, it was the most exciting thing that's happened in Oscars since the time they made that mistake and said the wrong name.
We lost, by the way, but you know.
Guys, I'm sorry. No, there's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. Come on, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
This is not a joke. Moonlight has won Best Picture. Moonlight, Best Picture.
I don't know, the mirage, the mystique of Hollywood and celebrity has gone down. You see something like the Met Gala, all these fancy and amazing dresses, and I do big up the designers for that. It feels like a scene out of the Hunger Games, that scene when they dress up and wear these extravagant dresses. It's almost as a distraction play, it's almost as a moment of levity. It feels, to me anyway, that we are in a dynamic shift in society where we are not all the way engaging with what the images that they are putting out there for us. Does that mean celebrities dead? Not really. Celebrities will always live on.
So we assume that there's some quality behind everything that they're saying. There's something special about them, but there's not. It's a biological trick that it's perpetrated through, and this is not by a grand conspiracy, but through media, through being able to put them on a YouTube screen or on a television or a laptop.
And the reason I posted that Joe Rogan clip there and at the beginning was just to say that we will always look for leaders and we will always place ideals on them that are greater than the person themselves. And it's in the trying that we should celebrate them. And once upon a time, maybe the celebs were trying, maybe they weren't. Maybe it's on us. Maybe we shouldn't ever put such grand ideals of virtue and love and kindness and family around these celebrities. We will always look to people to be beacons of hope and beacons of those ideals. Maybe this cancel culture and you do one thing wrong is gonna end up cannibalizing itself like the movie business, like the music business, and everyone's canceled. I don't know. I know we're in a dynamic change. I know the way in which we view celebrities will change. Maybe they will all be online. Maybe they will all just be influencers. Maybe, I don't know. Couldn't exactly tell you how our celebrities will change. If it's for the good, if it's for the bad. But it will change. Thank you for this episode. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you made it this far, you're going to do well in life because you're one of the few people who finish what they started. Shout out to my people that watch every episode. I see you. Brings a tear to my dry eyes. Peace.